Hi guys, it's Caitlin here and welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a apartment in the Spice Market in San Myshuno, and I realised I hadn't done an apartment in a while, so hence why I am doing an apartment in this video, because I'm pretty sure the last time I did a apartment was when I did the build for my Not So Berry challenge, which, if you're wondering, I actually decided not to continue with because I got bored really quickly. Maybe, I think it was, I only did like 2 or 3 episodes. I did actually film some more episodes, but just, you know, behind the scenes I was getting really bored of it, so I was like, you know, I don't know, I don't really want to put out content that I don't necessarily enjoy, even if I think it could be possible that you guys enjoy. If I'm not enjoying it, I don't want to post it, if you get what I mean. So yeah, anyway, that's why I didn't continue that. But anyway, back to this build. I will actually say that I did this build probably about 4 times, off screen at least, because I don't know, I just was having a hard time trying to choose a color scheme or a theme that would suit this apartment. I mean, I know you could go with anything and it would look good in an apartment, I guess, but I just wasn't feeling any of them, so I was like, oh, I don't know, I just kept deleting them. And I did actually do the floor plan off screen because I felt like it was probably better for you guys to watch it off screen rather than on screen, because you guys know, I've probably mentioned it a lot of times, that I suck at floor plans and it takes me forever to do them. I don't even know how long it took me to work on the floor plan for this house, or this apartment, sorry. But it took me a while, let's just say that. And I'm happy with how it turned out though in the end. And I did actually have to try and take a few tips from Lil Simsy's book. She had a, what do you call it? She had a floor plan tutorial video on her channel probably about 2 weeks ago maybe, or it could be, you know, closer than 2 weeks ago, I'm not too sure, but I watched that and, you know, she had some helpful tips in there, and, you know, she actually opened up, you know, not opened up, but now I know why I have trouble sometimes with floor plans. She sort of mentioned that when you have, you know, houses that aren't all different shapes and stuff, it tends to be harder to create floor plans. So if you have boxy houses, put it that way, she said if you have like a boxy house, it's kind of hard because you can't really make irregular shapes, and if you do, it's a little bit odd on the inside. Whereas if you guys have like a apartment that's already, you know, got these irregular shapes on the outside, then it's a lot easier. And I totally agree, because I found this apartment easier than I would have if it was like completely squared off, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, so also with this apartment, I actually have based it off of Chuck Bass's apartment in Gossip Girl. If you guys haven't watched Gossip Girl, I highly recommend you guys go and watch it. The funny thing is, I was never interested in watching it, even when Deligracy started her Gossip City LP. I don't know, I wasn't interested in it. I did actually watch a few of the episodes of her LP and I found the LP boring, which is funny because I have since gone back and watched it and I find it very interesting, which is very funny. But I think it just comes down to me actually understanding what Gossip Girl is about now to know that it's not completely boring. I just had to give it a little bit more of a chance, I guess. But yeah, anyway, so I based it off of Chuck Bass's apartment, just with the colour scheme, and if you guys have seen it, he has these on his bedrooms, because there's 2 bedrooms in his apartment. He has like these windows, these frosted windows, that see into the main living area, so I decided to add those in, onto his bedroom and onto the kitchen. We do have another bedroom in this house, but it's, you know, further back down in the apartment, so because he does actually have his mate Nate living, well, that rhymes, mate Nate, yeah, he does actually have his friend Nate living in the building or in the apartment with him as well, so he's got his own bedroom down the far end. I do actually wish now that I had done a little more with Nate's room. Dan is another character, by the way. But yeah, I wish I had done something a little extra to Nate's room, just because I feel like it's a little bit boring. You guys will see soon when it's coming up. But yeah, so this is pretty much like a very suave bachelor pad, because I'm pretty sure that everybody can agree that Chuck Bass is very suave. He is, you know, a very, you know, he's my favorite character in the whole show, and not just because of his good looks. I know a lot of people will say that he's his favorite due to that reason, but not because of that. But I feel like in the actual series, he is the character that they actually, you know, concentrated the most in, you know, building quite a complex story for him. Because he's a character where he comes off very cold and harsh to everybody. He comes off like he doesn't really care that much. But in reality, he's actually a big, soft old teddy bear. You wouldn't think it, but deep down, he doesn't want his family to be hurt. He doesn't want his friends to be hurt. He'll do almost anything just to protect them. Okay, I was about to say something about the series, but I was like, I better not say that just in case some of you guys are currently watching it, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you guys. But let's just say he goes to any lengths to try and protect his family and his friends, and you just never would, when you start the series, you never would think that that was what his character was like, because the way they portray him in the beginning. And I don't know, he's just, I was actually having this conversation with my workmate, because I was talking to one of my workmate, you know, about it, and then I had another workmate, he was listening, and he doesn't watch Gossip Girl, so he just straight out and said, the protagonist of that show is a jerk. And I was like, okay, who are you talking about right now? He goes, I think his name is like Chuck or something. I was like, yeah, okay, yes, he is kind of like the protagonist at the beginning of the series, but if you watch it and you actually really watch it, you find that he is probably the furthest from the protagonist at the end of the show. And I mean, you know, you can't blame him for the way he is. He's had a really tough life. You know, he's got a bad relationship with his father. Man, his father is a horrible man, if I say so. He is I would never, like, honestly, I would never wish anybody to have a father like that, ever. Just, you know, you see the relationship he's got with his father, and you'll figure out why he's the way he is. But either way, yeah, so this is his bedroom. Oh, actually, I want to quickly mention something. There's a painting that I placed above the bed of a little girl who looks like she's kind of in like a, you know, with the red glasses, and it's like a, I don't know, what do you call her outfit? I'm not too sure. Aviation or something like that, or flight attendant or something like that. Some sort of outfit, and I actually created that as a CC item. It is actually a real painting from Gossip Girl that hangs above Chuck's bed in his apartment, and I just really wanted to make it. I know it's not Max's match, but I have only just started making CC, so I've got no clue how to actually make things look Max's match as of yet. I know, like, there are some things that you can get away with, but there are other things like this painting that, you know, doesn't really fit in the game, but that's okay. I mean, this is mainly a CC build anyway, because like I mentioned earlier, I was struggling a lot trying to make this build look good, because there's only so much you can do with the Sims items. I mean, when you're building, quite often, I will admit that since I've started YouTube, majority of my game time actually goes into building and making videos for you guys. I will admit that I rarely get time to actually play gameplay. I can also admit that I have not played with the Parenthood game pack, and how long ago did that come out? I don't know. I haven't played with the fitness pack either. I haven't played with the toddler pack. I always just purchase them and then I use all the build items and I build, and I do enjoy it still, but I just feel like, you know, I think it's a common thing with most YouTubers who are doing Sims that they start to you know, play the game more so for YouTube than for themselves, which isn't always a good thing. I was actually thinking about it the other day and thinking how I would love to be able to start playing the game for myself as well, but between the hours I have, you know, with work and with other, you know, family commitments and such, it just does make it difficult sometimes to find that time for yourself, because you spend all of your, I guess, spare time trying to create videos and such. And I know sometimes I do take a little bit of a break, but usually those breaks are due to me getting hooked on a TV series. So Or if it's been like the past week, you know, previous week, I got really hooked into Gossip Girl, and I was just enjoying that so much, and I got hooked into creating CC items. So I was still doing something Sims related on my computer, but it was mainly just creating CC, or learning to anyway, which I would like to actually learn how to do more, in a more what's the word, in a more detailed way, I suppose. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I want to be able to create meshes and things like that, which is going to take me a while. I did watch a couple of videos on YouTube how to do it, and honestly, watching it looks so damn difficult. I mean, I'm not the best at using editing software yet, and I'm like, here I am wanting to attempt to start making my own meshes. It's going to take a while, but for now, I think recoloring, you know, it's good enough, I think. But yeah, so I was actually, yeah, back onto the lines of going on about how when you're doing YouTube, you don't really get time to play for yourself. At least that's what I feel like. I actually was kind of contemplating, thinking, you know, perhaps I should start doing pre-recording. I do pre-recording, but I don't really do voiceovers early. I usually do voiceovers before I'll upload, so just because I don't know, I prefer it that way, having like a fresher voiceover, so that you guys can kind of get like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but pretty much I like to use fresh voiceovers, if that makes sense. Sometimes I do like schedule 1 or 2 days in advance, but that's about it. I don't really schedule weeks in advance or months in advance. Not really. So yeah, I was just thinking perhaps if I were to start scheduling and spending one day maybe editing and voicing over my videos, then it could leave me maybe, you know, one day a week to play gameplay for myself, or, you know, I don't know, just, I think it's just all about trying to find a balance, I guess, which I often have struggled to find. I think when you're new to YouTube, you do struggle to find a balance. Sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming, just continuously uploading and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you guys do YouTube as well, you completely understand what I'm talking about, even though I'm not explaining that well. But yeah, so here we are doing the hallway, and I must admit, hallways are my downfall. Apart from floor plans, of course, but hallways, I don't know, how do you furnish a hallway and make it look good? I know if I had like a house in real life, hallways would probably just be blank with like art along the wall, and then maybe like a hallway table near the entrance or something like that, but that's about it. I struggle with hallways in The Sims because it just looks so out of place sometimes. And I did actually go into this build with a vision for my hallway, but that all got a little stuffed up when I had to change the floor plan slightly, because I had the doors sort of like an even width apart to the entrance door, which is like, it was kind of like symmetrical. So there was a hallway table that was supposed to go directly opposite the entrance, which is how I would have liked it. But because I had to change it up a little bit, it just wasn't working. So I think in the end I just went with like some fancy lights and a rug, and I honestly am not really happy with it, but I was just struggling a lot with it, so I just left it. You know, sometimes when you struggle, I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to force myself to try and come up with something. I'm just going to leave it. It's not exactly the most important part of the build anyway. I think most of the creativity went into the lounge room and perhaps Chuck's bedroom, because I feel like the hallway, Nate's room, and the bathroom all got a little let down, I think. I mean, I know it happens with all of my builds. There's always going to be a room or a little section of the build that's always a little let down compared to the rest. And I don't know if that's the same with like if other like builders feel the same about their builds sometimes, but I definitely do. And often, a lot of the time, like you can see now, I'm going in and adding like all of the appliances and the decorations, or you know, just clutter items, just to make it look a little bit more lived in. I often do this last because I find if I spend too much time at the beginning adding all these little details, and then it kind of uses up all of my like creativity, and then rooms where I feel like it's more important, it kind of like starts to die down. So I do go and do this, you know, kind of thing last in each of the rooms and such. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way I like to build. But yeah, anyway, I think we are almost coming up to the ending of the video, maybe like 5 more minutes left or something like that. So I think I'm actually going to end this voiceover here a little bit earlier than usual. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this build, and yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
So the days became weeks, it felt just like the night before. You were slowly fading in my mind. When you left, I was so completely gone, but now I'm sure you were some of the best of things to find. I find it hard to not